Hello, my name is Melissa Fowlkes. I'm a third grade teacher at Scotten School. This is my 17th year doing Saluting New Readers, and I do it year after year because it is so effective in improving the students' reading, and they absolutely love it, and so do I. Bye.
Clara Barton. Clara Barton was a brave woman. She carried supplies and medicine to injured soldiers during the Civil War. She also started American Red Cross, a group that helps people in need. Clarissa Howley Barton was born in Massachusetts on December 25th, 1821. Everyone called her Clara. She was the baby of the family. Clara had 2 sisters and 2 brothers. Clara loved to hear her father tell stories. He had lots of adventures as a soldier on the frontier. Soon it was time for Clara to start school. There was only one school in town with only one room. She was a good student. Clara's favorite subject was geography. She loved to look at maps. Clara was shy. It was hard for her to make friends. But she wasn't shy when people needed help. When she was 11 years old, her brother fell off the brown roof and badly hurt. Clara was her nurse for the 2 years it took him to get well. When she was 17 years old, Clara decided to help other children learn, so she became a teacher. Some of Clara's students were almost her age, but she was a good teacher and all of her students loved her. She was a teacher for 18 years. Then, in 1854, Clara moved to Washington, D.C. She became the first female clerk in the United States Patent Office. At that time, slavery existed in the southern states, but not in most northern states. Should slavery be allowed? No one could agree. The country was so divided over slavery in 1861. The Civil War began between the North and South. Young men everywhere volunteered to fight. Thank you for listening to me read.
Hello, my name is Lila, and I'll be reading The Wonders of the Bald Eagle. The bald eagle is a strong and beautiful bird. It is a symbol of the United States, where it is seen on posters and money. The white feathers on its head and dark brown feathers on its body make the bald eagle easy to see, even when it is soaring miles overhead. The bald eagle gets its name from an Old English word, bald, which means white. By age 5, all bald eagles have a white head and tail. At this age, they are ready to have their own families. While the adult bald eagle is easy to recognize, the young bald eagle looks like a golden eagle or a hawk. The bald eagle has a wingspan of 7 to 8 feet. Female eagles are bigger than males. Eagles may seem big because of their many layers of feathers, but their hollow bones make them lightweight for flying. Eagles are birds of prey. This means that they eat meat. Eagles are like fish most of all, but they also eat geese, ducks, rabbits, turtles, and carrot. They eat carrot mostly in the winter when their other food is hard to find. When an eagle spots a fish in the winter, it will swoop down and catch the fish with its feet. An eagle may also try stealing food from other birds of prey. An eagle sees very well. It can spot a rabbit from 2 miles away. An eagle's talons or claws are curved and razor sharp for catching and holding its prey. The rough bumps on its eagle's toes help it hold slippery wiggly fish. Male and female eagles court each other in the early spring. After courting, both birds help build a nest. When it is first built, the nest may be as big as 3 feet wide and 3 feet deep. Thank you for listening to me read.
Hello, my name is Mike and I will be reading A to Z Mysteries, The Haunted Hotel. Oh my gosh, Dink cried. There's a ghost in Green Lawn. Donald David Duncan, Dink to his friends, was reading the Sunday newspaper on the living room floor. Josh was sprawled on the sofa. He was using raisins to teach Dink's Guinea-pig Loretta to do math. Loretta gobbled up one of the raisins. Loretta, Josh scolded. If you keep eating all the raisins, you'll never learn to add. Ruth Rose was doing the crossword puzzle. Maybe she's trying to teach you to subtract, Joshua, she said. Josh tossed a raisin at her. I'm serious, you guys, Dink said. He poked his finger at the Green Lawn Gazette's front page. Come here and read this. Ruth Rose glanced at the newspaper. Hey, that's Mr. Linklater, she yelled. Josh put Loretta in her cage, then read the headline over Dink's shoulder. Haunted Hotel, Ghost Scares Away, Shangri-La Guests. See, I told you, Dink said. Josh grinned. You don't really believe that stuff, do you? He asked. I'll bet it's a Halloween joke or something. Yeah, well, Mr. Linklater looks pretty unhappy in this pink shirt, Dink said, and he never tells jokes. Besides, Halloween isn't for 2 more weeks, Ruth Rose added. George snorted. Well, I don't believe in ghosts, he said. Not until I see one with my own eyes. Listen to this, Dink said, reading from the paper. Guest reported seeing a ghost floating down the hall at midnight. It was carrying a silver sword. George snored again. Ghosts don't carry swords, he said. Ruth Rose reached for her jacket. Why don't we go to the hotel and see for ourselves? Great idea, Dink said, pulling on his sneakers. George let out a big sigh. Okay, but I'm only coming to prove that I'm right. The kids left Dink's house and headed around. Thank you for listening to my read. Hi, my name is Marlene, and I'm going to be reading Young Rosa Parks' Civil Rights Heroine. Rosa was born on February 4th, 1913. No one knew then that she would one day change the history of America. Rosa lived with her mother, brother, and grandparents in Alabama. When Rosa was growing up, black people did not have the same rights as white people. In those days, schools were different for black children and white children. White children went to better schools. They had heated classrooms and new textbooks. Black children went to school in run-down buildings. They had no heat, no desks, few books. Black children went to school for part of the year. During the rest of the year, they worked in the fields to help their families. Rosa's grandparents lived on a farm. Rosa and her brother were lucky to have enough food to eat, but sometimes they were sad. African Americans were not always treated fairly or kindly. Sometimes they were afraid. Some white people, like members of the Ku Klux Klan, tried to hurt black people by burning down their houses and churches. Many innocent people were killed. Rosa's grandfather remembered these hard times. When Rosa was growing up, she liked to listen to her grandfather's stories. Her grandfather taught her to respect all people no matter what color they were. Rosa learned a lot at the school she attended, but Rosa had to leave school to take care of her sickly grandmother. In 1932, when Rosa was almost 20 years old, she married a man named Raymond Parks. He was a good man who helped Rosa finish high school. They lived in Montgomery, Alabama. Both became members of the NAACP, National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. Thank you for listening to me read.
Hello, my name is Jameson Gilly. I will be reading Arthur Ashe, the Brave Champion. And Arthur Ashe was a champion tennis player. He won many tournaments. He also won the hearts of people all over the world by helping others. Arthur Ashe Jr. was born in 1943 in Richmond, Vinegar. His family had been in America since 1735 when one of his ancestors was brought from the West Africa as a slave. In 1863, during the Civil War, President Lincoln freed the slaves, but that did not end the troubles of African Americans. When Arthur was born, Southern communities were segregated. White people had separated schools from black people. They even had separated playgrounds. Arthur grew up in a house near a large playground for blacks only. There were 4 tennis courts where that was where Arthur learned to play. Arthur had a younger brother, Johnny. Arthur's father was a park policeman. Mr. Ashe had to raise his sons by himself. Arthur's mother had died when Arthur was only 6 years old. Mr. Ashe took his sons to church every Sunday. He made sure they learned to help others. Sometimes Arthur. Thank you for listening to me read.
My name is Edward Priolo, and I will be reading Captain Underpants and the Triangular Ritualized the Turbo Toilet 2000 today. Hi everybody, we're back and as usual we're in big trouble again. This comic will help you get up to speed on our story so far. The truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth about Captain Underpants. Once there was 2 super awesome kids named George and Harold. We rocked the house, son. Me too. But they had a mean principal named Mr. Cup. Blah, Betty, blah, blah, blah. Mr. Cup tried to blackmail George and Harold. I got you now. So George and Harold hypnotized him. I don't think so. They made him think he was Captain Underpants. It was funny at first, but he took things a little too far. Tra-la-la! Hey, come back! He got into all sorts of trouble. Then, one day he drank some alien superpower juice, and he got real superpowers, which got him into even more trouble. Now whenever Mr. Cap hears somebody snap their fingers, he turns into Captain Underpants. Tra-la-la! Thank you for listening to me read. be reading Apache helicopters. Enemy tanks are in the area. 2 Apache helicopters take off from a United States Army base. Their mission is to destroy the tanks. High-tech cameras on the Apaches sense heat from the tank monitors. The pilots race toward the enemy. They ready their weapons. Missiles fly through the sky. The tanks explode. The Apaches return to their base. Their mission was a success. The crew members control the Apache. The pilot flies the helicopter. The co-pilot gunner GPG finds target. The Apache has 2 rotors. The top rotor gives the Apache lift. The tail rotor helps steer the helicopter. The Apache uses missiles, rockets, and a 30 mm machine gun. The gun carries 1,200 rounds. It is linked to the GPG's helmet. The GPG looks at the target to aim the gun. Apaches are mainly used to destroy enemy vehicles. They also escort other aircraft and give air support to ground units. Apaches are most deadly at night. Night vision helps crews see in the dark. Radars can find more than 250 targets at once. Thank you for watching me read.
Hey!
My name is Cassie, and I'm going to be reading Young Thurgood Marshall, Fighter for Equality. Thurgood Marshall was the first African American elected to the Supreme Court, the highest court in the United States. Thurgood was born in 1908. He lived with his mother and father and his older brother in Baltimore, Maryland. Thurgood's parents wanted him to be a dentist. They wanted his brother to be a doctor. In Thurgood's neighborhood, white and black children played together, but they had to go to separate schools. This was called segregation. Thurgood not only couldn't go to the same school as white children, he had to sit in a special place on the trolley car and even at the ballpark. Thurgood felt bad about this, but his parents told him that he was as good as anyone else. Although Thurgood was a bright student, he was always getting in trouble at school. His teacher often sent him to the principal's office. The principal would make Thurgood stay after school to read a copy of the Constitution of the United States. The Constitution tells how the country should be governed. In time, Thurgood knew it almost by heart. As Thurgood got older, he became interested in law. He and his father would go to the courthouse to watch the trials. At dinner, Thurgood and his father would talk about the trials they had seen. Thurgood and his brother went to Lincoln University in Pennsylvania. His brother did very well. In time, he became a surgeon. At first, Thurgood was more interested in sports and parties than in his studies. Thurgood got in trouble most as he did back in grammar school. Thurgood had worked hard to get into college. Now he knew it was time to start working hard again. Thank you for listening to me read.
Hello, my name is Mary, and I'll be reading Pete the Cat and his 4 groovy buttons.
Pete the cat put on his favorite shirt with 4 big, colorful, round, groovy buttons. He loved his shirt so much he sang this song. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons, my buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. Pop! Oh no! One of the buttons popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 3. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go, so he kept singing his song. My 3 groovy buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. Pop! Oh no! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 2. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go, so he kept singing his song. My 2 groovy buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. Pop! Oh no! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 1. Did Pete cry? Goodness no. Buttons come and buttons go, so he kept singing his song. My buttons, my 1 groovy button, my 1 groovy button. Pop! Oh no! The last button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 0. Did Pete cry? Goodness no. Buttons come and buttons go. Pete looked down at his buttonless shirt, and what do you think he saw? Thank you for listening to me read.
Hello, my name is Kayla, and I'm going to be reading A Birthday for Francis. It was the day before Francis's little sister Gloria's birthday. Mother and Gloria were sitting at the kitchen table making place cards for the party. Francis was in the broom closet singing, "Happy Thursday to you, happy Thursday to you, happy Thursday, dear Alice, happy Thursday to you." "Who is Alice?" asked Mother. "Alice is somebody that nobody can see," said Francis, "and that is why she does not have a birthday. So I am singing Happy Thursday to her." "Today is Friday," said Mother. "It is Thursday for Alice," said Francis. "Alice will not have HRND and she will not have JKLS, but we are singing together." "What are HRND and JKLS?" asked Mother. Cake and candy. "I thought you could spell," said Francis. "I am sure that Alice will have cake and candy on her birthday," said Mother. "But Alice does not have a birthday," said Francis. "Yes, she does," said Mother. "Even if nobody can see her, Alice has one birthday every year. And so do you. Your birthday is 2 months from now. Then you will be the birthday girl. But tomorrow is Gloria's birthday, and she will be the birthday girl." "That is how it is, Alice," said Francis. "Your birthday is always the one that is not now." "Francis," said Mother, "wouldn't you and Alice like to come out of the broom closet and help us make place cards for the party?" Francis came to the table and sat down and picked up a crayon. "What are you putting on the place cards?" she asked. "Pretty flowers," said Gloria, "rainbows and happy trees." Francis began to draw on a place card, and as she drew, she sang, "A rainbow and a happy tree are not for Alice or for me. I will draw 3 blanked cats and caterpillars with ugly heads." Thank you for listening to me read.
Alexis, and I will be reading Young Helen Keller. Helen Keller could not hear or see, yet she helped many people in an amazing life. Helen was born in
Nebraska, Alabama on June 27, 1880. She was a happy, healthy baby, but whenever she was almost 2 years old, Helen became very sick. In time, Helen got well, but her illness left her deaf and blind. Helen felt all alone in a dark and silent world. Because Helen could not hear, she also could not talk, and she had no way to tell other people how she felt or what she thought. Helen did not know other people had feelings, so she often kicked or hit other children. Once she even pushed her baby sister Milton out of her cradle. Helen's parents knew Helen needed help. They took her to see Dr. Alexander Graham Bell. Today, Dr. Bell is remembered for inventing the telephone, but when Helen's parents came to him, he was running a school to help people teach the deaf. Dr. Bell said there was a special way deaf people could talk, by making signs with their fingers. He told the Kellers how to find a teacher to help Helen. When Helen was 7, a woman named Annie Sullivan came to live with the Kellers. She would change Helen's life. Annie knew what it was like not to be able to see. Thank you for listening to me read.
Hello, my name is Hunter and I'll be reading German Shepherds. I'm a faithful, loving companion, and once I get to know you, I'll always be your friend. I'm brave and strong too. I can be a good guard dog if I'm properly trained. I'm a big activity dog, so I need to be kept busy. I like to take a long walk every day, and I enjoy running and fetching a ball. I love to be around people. Don't leave me on my own for too long, or I will be unhappy and bark a lot. German soldier, first breed German Shepherd dogs more than 100 years ago. The dogs work herding sheep, and they are still used for herding. Now, German Shepherds are one of the most popular breeds of dogs in the United States. The most famous German Shepherd was Rin Tin Tin, who took part in more than 26 movies. He also had his own radio show. German Shepherds puppies need to be with their mom until they are about 8 weeks old. When you first take the puppy home, he may miss his family, so be very kind and gentle. Make sure you keep him company, as he may get anxious when left alone. Thank you for listening to me read.
Hi, my name is Gavin, and I'm going to read Oliver and Wilbur Wright. Wilbur and Oliver Wright were brothers. They invented the first motor-powered airplane. Wilbur was born in 1867. 4 years later, Oliver was born. They grew up in Ohio and Iowa with their brothers, sister, and parents. from the time they were little. Wilbur and Oliver were best friends. They loved to build toys and machines together. Their mother liked to build things to make things too. Once she could not find a sled big enough for the boys, so she took wood and metal from an old stove and made one. The right home was full of books. In these days, there was no TV or radio in the evening. The family read out loud to each other from books and newspapers. In 1878, Mr. Wright gave Wilbur and Oliver a gift. They never forgot. It was a toy flying machine made of cork, bamboo, and paper. Its motor was a rubber band. The boys named their new toy the Bat. They played with it all of the time. Wilbur and Oliver played with it with their toy so much that it broke. So they made it. Thank you for listening to me read. Hello, my name is Keegan, and I'm gonna read a pocket for Corduroy. Late one summer afternoon, Lisa and her mother took their laundry to the laundromat. Lisa carried along her toy bear, Corduroy. The laundromat was a very busy place at this hour. Now, Corduroy, you sit right here and wait for me, Lisa said. I'm going to help with our wash. Corduroy waited patiently, then he suddenly perked up his ears. Lisa's mother was saying, be sure to take everything out of your pockets, Lisa dear. You don't want your precious things to get all wet and soapy. Pockets, said Corduroy to himself. I don't have a pocket. He slid off the chair. I must go find something to make a pocket out of, he said, and he began to look around. First, he came to a pile of fancy towels and washcloths, but nothing was the right size or color. Then he saw a huge stack of colorful clothes in a laundry basket. There had to be something in there to make a pocket out of, he said. Without hesitating, he climbed inside the bag, which was filled with pieces of wet laundry. The dampness didn't bother Corduroy in the least. This must be a cave, he said. I've always wanted to live in a dark, cool cave. Later, when Lisa looked for her bear, he was gone. Oh, Mommy, she cried. Corduroy isn't here where I left him. I'm sorry, honey, said her mother. But the laundromat will be closing soon, and we must be getting home. Thank you for listening to me read.
Hello, my name is Kaley Front, and I'm going to be reading The Halloweener. There once was a dog named Oscar who was half a dog tall and 1.5 dogs long. Because of his unusual shape and size, all the other dogs made fun of him. Wiener dog, they called him, and Oscar did not like it one bit. Oscar's mother was no help either. Every morning when the dogs walked to obedience school, Oscar's mother stood in the front yard and waving and calling out, "Farewell, my little Vita sausage," and the other dogs laughed and laughed. Most of the time, Oscar was upset about all this, but not today. Today is Halloween, and Oscar was thinking about other things. All day long at obedience school, Oscar daydreamed about Halloween night, trick-or-treats, and scary costumes. When Oscar got home, he dashed upstairs to start working on a scary Halloween costume. But when he got to his room, a surprise was waiting for him. Happy Halloween, little sausage link, said Oscar's mother. I made a costume for you to wear for trick-or-treating. When Oscar saw the costume, he nearly fainted. It was a giant hot dog bun, complete with mustard. And guess who was supposed to fit in the middle? Oscar did not want to hurt his mother's feelings, so he decided to wear the silly costume. That night, all the dogs on the block gathered around to show off their costumes. Everyone was looking quite scary. Then Oscar showed up looking quite frank. Thank you for listening to me read the Halloween.
What do you love?
Reading!
Where do you go to school?
Scotten School!
And what grade are you in?
3rd grade!
Who's your teacher?
Mrs.
Who's the best teacher in the whole world? Hip hip hooray!